Hey man, what it is? This is Deem, and I am your host, and this is by any means. There go the Cash App. I appreciate everybody who be sitting up there, showing love and supporting. And I got the PayPal up too, y'all. It's the same thing. At Deem dollar sign at Deem by any means. I appreciate it if you go to the PayPal. Um, it should be a picture of Malcolm X too. It might be a different picture than this one, but it'll be another picture of him. And just want to say shout out to Deanna Branch. Um, you know, making me set up the PayPal and really showing love, man, sending the love through, man, and it just is much appreciated and give me motivation to keep doing what it is that I'm doing. Raymond Muratalla, man. AKA Danger, AKA the Punisher, AKA that is my guy. If y'all been seeing me on boxing scenes, y'all know I've been yelling and screaming this man's name for a while. Um, and it's for great cause because Raymond Maritala is one of the top guys at 135. I mean, he's something that you have to deal with. We talking about all these other guys, the Shakur Stevenson, Javante Davis, the Lomachinkos, but we not talking about the Raymond Maritalas, and he's right there. The Frank Martins, he's right there. Isaac Cruz, all of them. He needs to be fighting every last single one of those guys that's right there because he's right there with them. And I mean, from a talent wise to box game wise, I actually think he's better than Issa Cruz. I think if Issa Cruz fought Raymond Maritala, he would lose. I mean, that's just my opinion. I think that Frank Martin versus Raymond Maritala would be a dog fight. Um, but somebody's going to bed in that fight, and that fight would be much closer than I think it's a Cruz fight would be. I might still edge Frank in that fight, but that's a maybe though. But Raymond Maritala is just he's the Punisher, man. He don't stop. He consistent pressure. He's not super agile, but he's smooth in the way he throws his punches, and you don't usually see that from guys that fight the way he fight. Like he's very robotic in a way, but when he's releasing his hands and he's actually letting his hands go, it comes off very smooth and swift. So that's a rare sneaky talent that he has that separates him, I think, from a lot of other people that have that Canelo type of style, but Canelo is just straight thudding with you. Like he's not even playing. Like he's throwing. You could see it coming, and so what? Unless you're going to get out the way, you're going to feel this. Raymond does a way better job at disguising it and putting combinations together and staying behind his jab. But it's the same similar approach that he wants to do as a Canelo Alvarez, I would say, to put you in. And I say Canelo because just to put you in that style of fighting. Um, so, yeah, I would say he's a little flat-footed, but I will also say that it doesn't. It's something that it won't bite him in the butt as it does a lot of other fighters because he possesses speed, head movement, power, um, and a very consistent attack. And he has a very good IQ in there. Raymond Maritala does a great job at knowing when you hurt. And similar to people like Javante Davis and Terrence Crawford, that when they get you hurt, Arthur Beterbiev, when they get you hurt, that's really where the fight actually begins because your chances of winning that fight drops down dramatically. Like, and Raymond Maritala possesses that. He keeps his foot on the gas. He don't. He's not like a lot of other fighters that you Richard's Richard Hitchison. He's not like that, where he's just going to consistently have that same type of style, no matter if he got you hurt or not. He's going to fight that way. No, he knows when to turn it up. He knows when you feeling these. And that's something that I think that a fighter really needs to possess because it's something that I criticize. People gonna hate me saying this, but it's something I criticize Devin Haney for. Like, you got to put your foot on the gas. Yeah, you're gonna beat people when you say consistent and all that. Yeah, that stuff works, but You got to know when to go in there and go for the kill. And Raymond Muratalla is one of the best in the game at doing that. His record speaks for itself. Um, he's been on a he's been on the scene, say really like the last 2 years. His name been buzzing, but I think this year, if he fights 3 times this year, y'all will look back on this video and be like, yeah, I see what Dean was talking about, because he's something that you got to deal with, and that's why I call him the Punisher. Because no, he's human. He's not a superhero. How I like to compare, a lot of other guys to superheroes or villains or things like that. Because we in a violent sport, so that's why I do that. But yeah, he's human. He could be beat. He's beatable. I same way I think Arthur Biterbi is beatable, but you got to actually beat him though. And he does a great job at breaking you down. Like Raymond Muratalla is not the guy that you get tired against. You got a bad gas tank, you better not go in that ring with that man, or he gonna stop you. Um, he has a similar style to Sabril Matias, but I think that he does a better job at actually releasing his hands. Sabril Matias would definitely let his hands go, but he would take Raymond Muratalla doesn't take as much punishment as somebody like a Sabril Matias is taking. Like he will get in there, he will dip his head in and out, have great horizontal movement, moving his head. But like I said, you can't really control your foot speed. It's the same thing that I tell y'all all the time about why Errol Spence can't beat Terrence Crawford. It has nothing to do about his health or any of those things. Is when somebody has better footwork than you and their hand speed might be better than yours, you in for a long night. Just 9 times out of 10, you are in for a long night when it comes to that. It's the reason why Lomachenko was so dominant for as long as he was, because he possessed those two things, and it's hard to beat that if you can't knock the person out. And Raymond Muratalla is just dog, man. Like when you just think of dog, like very entertaining fighter. That's why I want his name out there, because he'll bring even more luster. Like I could see a major fight with him and Gervonta Davis down the road doing 300, 400,000 pay-per-views if they market it right. If he has a big year this year, maybe 2025, 2026, that's something we would definitely see and be wanting to see, because I think you'll hear a lot more people talking about the Punisher, man, aka the Danger, because that's exactly what he is, man. He's all caution signs. He gonna go in there and go to take your head off. He's not gonna back up. His footwork is good enough that you're not going to just be walking around the ring doing what Shakur Stevenson was doing against De Los Santos. Because I actually think that Raymond Muratalla beat De Los Santos. Um, but I like De Los Santos too. I think De Los Santos is a very, very good fighter. I actually really like De Los Santos. But Raymond Muratalla possesses a lot of those same things. But I just think the talent level, he's one of the more talented guys as far as IQ, punching ability, combination punching, consistent pressure, being first. Y'all know I always talk about that. Are you going to be first? You could possess all the skills in the world, but as soon as you put your guard up, if I'm throwing something at you and you don't know how to react to that, then you're going to be in a long night. He does a great job at not letting you get your stuff together. I keep telling y'all, when boxers are fighting and there's punches being thrown, consistent pressure is why Earl Spence dominated people for so long. Consistent pressure is something hard to deal with. You could be more skilled than a person, but if you're not skilled enough defensively wise to stop that onslaught, it's night. It's why everybody just can't beat Canelo. You know what Canelo going to do, but can you stop it is the question. Raymond Muratalla possesses those same things. And I'm very, very excited to see what this young man going to do as far as 2024. Who he's fighting next. He's over there on Top Rank. So we'll see what's going on, man. And if hopefully he could be one of Shakur Stevenson fights this year. I'm just saying, I'm just putting that out there. If Shakur Stevenson don't come to the PBC as he should, if he actually really want to fight Gervonta Davis, but whatever. But yeah, I would love to see Raymond Muratalla against some of these top dogs, man. I think it's time. I think he's ready. I think this is the year for it. I think he's taken that step. I think he's the hottest prospect at 135 by a long shot. Him and Abdullah Mason, I think, are two of the greatest like young prospects coming up right now. So I would really, really, really can't wait to see the Punisher, do what he does. And because that's going to make for some great matchups. And I also see him going to 140 eventually, and having a lot of those other guys up there having to deal with him. So we'll see where the young man career going to go. But y'all keep your eye out, man, for the Punisher, man. Raymond Muratalla ain't nothing to be played with. I'm telling y'all now, you will see him more this year. I promise you, he will be co-mains and maybe like he's going to be in that light this year. And just get ready for what I was telling y'all. Because we got a new star coming up in boxing. I truly believe he's talented enough. And like I said, I don't think that like he's human. I think he's beatable. I think the right person that could beat him. I know for sure Shakur Stevenson could beat him. Um, that's not the problem though. It's you might beat him, but he's going to make you a changed man in that ring. You're not going to walk out that ring the same way that you walked in that ring. He's the guy that you're not going to probably want to take a rematch against and things like that. So I see him being a tyrant, and that's why I like him. I see him being a real tyrant, a real dog, a real live dog in the fight. Um, Vegeta, in an aspect, if y'all can see where my mind is at, like he may never be Goku, but he's definitely something you got to deal with, man. Raymond Maritala, man, y'all get hit. Y'all know what this is. Deem by any means. Hit that Cash App and please hit that PayPal also. And I just want to say I appreciate every last single one of y'all, man. Y'all get at me.